Hello YouTube and preppers, this is the Comms Prepper. It's a rainy day here in Northern Virginia, and I got a request from one of my subs to do a video on the bandwidth of the Tram 1181 dual band antenna that I use here on the pickup truck. And I'll put a link down below to this antenna. But I've been using this antenna now for almost a year with the ICOM ID5100 Alpha D-Star mobile radio that you see mounted on the dashboard there. And this antenna performs very well. I'm very happy with this antenna. It's a real solid antenna. They're relatively cheap. I don't know the price off the top of my head, but less than 30 bucks. I got a couple of them off of Amazon, but I've never actually tested the bandwidth. So we got the case out here with the Signal Hound USB SA44B spectrum analyzer and the companion tracking generator. We have the directional coupler and all my cables and adapter connectors. So we're going to set everything up here in the truck and actually check the bandwidth of that antenna. And with the magic of editing, I'll get screenshots from the laptop and show you exactly what the bandwidth is for the 2-meter band, the 70-centimeter band, and I'm curious myself how well this antenna would perform in the FRS and GMRS bands. So let me set the camera down here and get the test equipment all set up, and we'll run that test and see how well this Tram 1181 looks to the spectrum analyzer and as an antenna for preppers. We'll be right back. Alright guys, I apologize, but I lost my daylight here setting everything up for this test, but the antenna is testing quite well in the VHF bands, and I'll insert a screenshot here, but the antenna starts to get good at an SWR of 2:1 at 136 megahertz. It's still good to 2:1 up to 154 megahertz, and its absolute lowest SWR is at 148 megahertz. So this antenna could be on the short side. If it was a little bit longer, it would be a little more resonant in the amateur radio bands, but still well within specifications. That's a solid antenna for performance in the VHF bands, giving you a good SWR for the amateur radio bands, and even getting up towards the MURS bands. The SWR would be acceptable for a MURS radio. So I'll pause the camera here and we'll roll over and we'll check out the UHF side of this antenna and see how well it performs up there. Be right back. Alright guys, we just wrapped up the UHF test. The Tram 1181 antenna becomes acceptable starting at 427 megahertz. It maintains a 2:1 or less SWR up to 481. Its center or most resonant point is 452 megahertz, and it's still acceptable in the FRS GMRS bands around 462, 467. Again, I'll insert a screenshot here with some markers to point what I'm talking about here on the screen because I'm getting glare with the camera. But the Tram 1181 is a great antenna. The price is right. It's solidly built. For those of you who want to know more about how I actually did this test, I'll put a link down below to my previous video with the Signal Hound equipment that goes into the details of how I used the directional coupler, the tracking generator, and the spectrum analyzer. This video is just to show you how the Tram 1181 antenna performs. And to that sub that sent in the question, I hope this answers your question. And as always, thank you for watching my videos and subscribing to my channel. This has been the Comms Prepper working in the pickup truck in the rain, performing an antenna test on the Tram 1181 antenna with the Signal Hound USB SA44B spectrum analyzer and companion tracking generator. Thanks for watching, guys.